In hindsight, I was definitely not ready for kids at 23. What's up everyone, and welcome back to Life with LAM, where we talk about how to make small changes that have big impacts. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and please make sure that you click those like and subscribe buttons. Last week we talked about how to deal with the past, so it only makes sense that this week we talk about how to deal with the future. If you feel like you're always worrying about the future and nothing turns out the way that you want it to, then this is the video for you. And at the end of the video, we'll be going over some quick tips on how to turn the future into your own personal motivational speaker. Sound good? Let's go. Now, in case you haven't watched last week's video yet, go watch it now. The link is in the description. We talked briefly about the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu. He once said, if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. And if you are at peace, you're living in the present. And just a quick disclaimer from last week. Let's just be clear that Lao Tzu didn't speak English, so this is obviously a translation. And I'm pretty sure that the concept of clinical depression and anxiety didn't exist back then the way it does today. So that's definitely not what we're talking about in this video. Having said that, if you are experiencing depression or anxiety, please talk to someone. You are not alone, and the strongest and bravest thing you can do is to ask for help. Seriously, always ask for help. No matter what you're going through, you are worthy of help. Now back to the quote. Let's break it down a little bit and see what it seems to be saying about the future. Lao Tzu ties anxiety to a focus on the future, and I think we can all relate to this one. You've got an interview coming up, an exam, maybe a date, and all you can think about is, what if it doesn't go well? What if I screw it up? What if? What if? The thing about the future is that it doesn't exist yet, and while there are things that we can do to impact the future, there are some things that are just out of our hands. If you fixate on all the little things that you can't control, your life will be one giant stress ball. Because really, how do you control the uncontrollable? And that's the thing, you can't. Story time. I'm a planner, and anyone who's known me for more than a couple of days knows that I like to make big plans for the future. I mean, just think about the number of times you've heard me talk about my future children. And underneath my drawing, I wrote, Dad. Nothing gets in between me and my future children. I want to be able to play with my future kids for as long as they want me to. Now, being the future planner that I am comes with some ups and downs. Having a really solid idea of the things that I want to accomplish means that I always have something to work towards, and that's allowed me to achieve some pretty amazing things. But the ability to focus my planning took a lot of trial and error. When I was young, I had an idea, a plan in place about how my romantic life was going to go. Meet the girl of my dreams by 18, propose by 21, married by 22, kids at 23. In hindsight, I was definitely not ready for kids at 23. But that was my plan, and to be honest, I spent a lot of time thinking about it. Leading up to any first date, I couldn't help but worry about what she would think of me, how is the date going to go, could she be the one? And worse, during the date, I was already thinking about potential date number 2. Wondering, will this last long term? What would our lives together be like? What about our kids? I know, it was a lot. And in some ways, it was helpful. I've never been the type to date for fun. I think it's a huge waste of time, so my future thinking helped me to end things as soon as I felt there wasn't a future in it. But it also created a lot of stress because every day that passed was another day closer to this arbitrary deadline that I had set. The real issue though was that I couldn't reach this goal on my own. I mean, literally half of my future relationship was out of my hands. It was in hers, whoever she may be. And sure, I could put myself out there, meet as many people as possible. I could do all of this stuff on my end, but I couldn't control her side of it. How she responds to things, what she likes, how she feels. And this stressed me out more than I could explain. I remember one point in my early 20s when I was obviously not engaged or married. And I had reached this fork in the road where my future planning was teetering between motivating and destructive. For most of my younger life, I had been quite extroverted. I loved spending time with people, meeting new friends, being the center of attention. I fed off of it. But more and more, I was finding that I was becoming wary of meeting new people because it felt like every new person that I met was just going to be another reminder that I still hadn't met my future wife yet. So back to this fork in the road. My mindset towards relationships was getting so anxiety-ridden that I had to make a decision. Either I was going to let myself continue to stress out about when I was going to meet the right girl, whether she would like me, all these things that I had no control over, or I could accept those things as uncontrollable, focus solely on me and all the things that I could control, and move forward from there. I chose the latter. Now, to be clear, I wasn't giving up on my goal of having a solid relationship and having wonderful children, but I was choosing to focus my energy on me, on what I could do now in order to achieve my future goal, rather than focusing my energy on the future itself, which, again, I had no control over. I said last week that the past is like a teacher who has great lessons but doesn't really care about you. Well, the future is like a motivational speaker who talks about all of these big plans but again doesn't really care about you. The past and the future, not the most caring types. In my experience, there are two general types of responses that people have when they leave a motivational talk. Either they're super amped up, ready to tackle all of the things that the speaker talked about, or they're super discouraged because all they see is how long and difficult the journey ahead looks and what if it's too hard and what if it doesn't work out. The only thing that you have control over is what's happening now. Making big plans is all well and good, but don't let your plans distract you from what needs to be done currently. Besides, planning doesn't make things happen, doing does. And if you're so nervous about things not working out that you never even get started, guess what? Those things, they're not gonna work out. So, okay, I get it. I can't let my plans for tomorrow get in the way of my actions today. But first, how do I deal with the future? Well, I'm glad you asked. Tip number one, identify control. In my opinion, all stress comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. And as long as we keep trying to do so, we're going to fail. And the stress of failure, worse, the fear of failure, will add up over time. I've never been one to avoid failure, but the truth is we can't control other people. And for any goal that you set that involves other people, you're going to have to accept that you'll never have 100% control. Tip number two, be confident. Easier said than done, I know, but the truth is that things are either going to work out for you or they're not, and walking into a situation timid and afraid isn't going to help your case. If you don't know how things are going to turn out, you might as well put yourself in the best possible position and go into it with confidence. Be confident in your ability to take care of the things that need to be taken care of and let the rest of it go. Tip number three, focus on the now. Yup, we're doing this again. The future doesn't exist yet, and the one you want isn't going to exist if you don't start working on the now. Think about it this way. You can stress all you want about how something might not work out for you, but all that time that you spent stressing, you could have used to make it more likely that it would work out. Ultimately, that choice is yours. So get started now. So there you have it, how to deal with the future. In the comments below, let me know what you think of this video. And if you want to support this channel, then please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell because we'll be dropping a new episode of Life with Lamb every Wednesday and going live Sunday mornings at 8. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. Be good, and let's make today an awesome day. Take care.